like my little on the line is way smaller than yours.
Your pussy's showing.
It happens sometimes. In a second, my pussy's going to be making my lap really warm.
This went places already.
Man, my setup ain't what it used to be.
None of.
No, yours is, Dave. Your setup has not changed.
I moved my desk into the wrong spot for podcasting because like this is really good for editing and recording TikToks, but it's not good for like I don't have all my cool shelves behind me. Like I have my drums behind me, but I also have the door to the heater and shit behind me, and also you can hear more of the furnace and shit when I turn the AC on.
So when you say door, is there a door or is it just a doorway?
It's a doorway.
Okay.
God.
Wait, there's a door.
Listen.
Wait, is there no door in that doorway?
No, there's not a. If there was, I would close it.
See, that was my point. It was like, it was like just wide open.
Well, I've thought about putting an actual door on there, right? Just like actually closing it. But then I'm worried about there's only like one heat vent on this side of the basement, and all the plumbing comes in on this side, and so I don't want to like accidentally make this side too cold and then freeze the pipes over here.
I mean, you could just only shut the door at certain times, and when you leave the door open, you're in the same situation you're in now.
You're right. I could be smart, but that requires
intelligence,
thinking, and and being conscious of my surroundings all the time. And being a blind guy, that's not really a good idea.
I think
you're using the blindness as a crutch right now, Dave.
I say we are 3 minutes into the show, and he's using his disability as a crutch already.
Hey, look, Dave.
Get used to it. No,
no, we are not a college application. You can't use that for us.
I'm just trying to figure out how we can, throughout the course of this show, make Dave's background look less murder basement-y. I think there's a great kind of like mix of like put the lotion in the basket kind of setting, but he's also got like stuffed peeps and a Mountain Dew blanket that's maybe covering a body.
Yeah.
Well, how great would it be if like just slowly throughout like every recording, like something else popped up in the background, like a bloody, like butcher's knife ended up back there, and then eventually like a drop cloth ended up somewhere.
This is a long-term plan. There's a secret story going on in the background of all the episodes.
I think it would be great if one day when we record, just all of a sudden Jeff gets out from underneath that blanket. I didn't know you guys were recording today. Welcome to None of Us Are Qualified. This is the Bad Advice Podcast, where each episode we take a question from our community and we give you horribly misguided advice from 3 idiots who have managed to stumble their way through life without ending up in prison or losing any vital body parts along the way. If you have a question you'd like our advice on, you can simply reach out to us on Threads at None of Us Are Qualified. Or Dave, you just told me we got an email.
We do. None of us are qualified at gmail.com. I assume that's correct.
It'd be great if our email was somehow coordinated with the title of the show.
Listen, they need to read to make sure, but I'm pretty sure we're right.
Okay.
Dear Lord.
Hey, it's been like 5 years since I've made a podcast at this point. That's not true. We did it like at the beginning of 2020.
We did whenever the pandemic hit.
How'd that go?
The pandemic? Not great.
It was great. Yeah, I feel so emotional.
I'm a little foggy on the details of the pandemic.
Yeah, so was everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. No one can agree on this thing. Everyone can just be like, yeah, no, it was no good. Masks weren't fun. Maybe we should have worn them. Maybe we shouldn't have worn them. Everyone's shut down. Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. How about bad advice? Everybody had it.
Yeah.
No one had good advice during that time.
I mean, that's almost when we should have started this show.
Let's just get into what this show is all about. So the three of us are just complete buffoons who have managed to stumble our way through. I'm in my, I'm going to say early 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, you're significantly younger. You're like what, like 22?
I'm in my early 30s.
Early 30s. And Dave
Mhm.
and Johnny's in the middle, right? You're somewhere.
No, I think. Wait, hold on a second. I think you and I are the same age.
Are we?
Yeah, I can't remember if
think
I'm
so.
just barely older than you or if I'm just barely younger than you. But
I think
you and
you're
I are
younger.
about
I'm 43.
the same age. Okay, so you've got me by at least the 6 months, but that's about
Okay.
it.
Oh, I really? I was.
Mhm.
You're so handsome, and like your skin is so soft. I think that's it.
It's the
soft
camera
skin.
I use. You know,
It's,
I mean, you
it's
look,
those filters.
you've only seen me in person at one time, and you did not rub my face to feel my soft skin during that time.
I did not rub your face, but I did take a leaping jump into your arms.
You
And,
did. That's right.
We did like make abdominal contact.
Wait, hold on a
So,
second.
I
thought
going
I
off of
ran
that.
and jumped into you.
Did you?
Yeah, because I remember. Well, it was either you or John.
Something on
I think
me
it was
jumped
you.
up. That's all I
Listen,
know.
you guys
Well-
just wanted to touch each other. Right? We get it.
We
all
touched.
right, everybody.
That's the point. The
We
point
did.
is we touched.
We did.
And
that
after
was,
that
like,
point, when
years
Johnny and
ago.
I touched, we decided that we needed to come up with a show together and give advice to strangers on the internet, and that's what this is. So let's dive straight into our first topic and see how absolutely horrible we are at this.
This will be
First
great.
topic is how do I get okay with being bad at stuff? Which really is appropriate for our first episode. As the viewer or listener probably has already surmised, we are very comfortable being bad at what we do. Let me read the letter. I'm a pretty smart, capable guy, but I hate doing things that I'm not good at. It seems like this fear of being seen doing things I'm bad at affects my life in so many ways, such as the driver's license I still don't have due to the heart in my mouth terror of fucking up. The mere idea of being terrible at something and people seeing me fail is too much to handle, so please help me. How do I get good at being bad at things?
It's funny. I know I read this question ahead of time. I do not remember seeing anything in there about the driver's license.
I know we were just gonna take digs at me immediately. We're just like, yeah, Dave can't drive. Let him tell people how it's okay to be okay at not doing things.
Here we go with the
Yeah, you-
disability again. Blah, blah, blah.
Get used. Here's the best advice for being bad at stuff. Get used to it. You're not good at anything. No one actually is. Some people are really good at specific things, but most people are pretty bad at everything. That's just kind of how life goes. I don't know what to tell you. If you can't do it, just give up.
So
David-
hold on. Hold on. So there's that whole thing. It's like if first you don't succeed, try again, right? And then there's like the
Right.
joke that like if at first you don't succeed, skydiving might not be for you,
Mm.
right? So
Yeah.
this is the problem I have with this right now is that now we're talking, and how I overlooked this I don't know, but now we're talking about like being really bad at driving, right?
Uh-huh.
And this becomes dangerous because I have a 16-year-old. My daughter just turned 16 a month and a half ago. She's been driving, and recently she was pulling out of a parking spot, wasn't paying close of attention, cut the wheel too hard, and bumped the car next to her. Right now,
And you say
no
bump.
well, so yeah, bumped it like
Okay.
dink, right?
Okay.
So like no damage to the other car from what she told me. The damage to her vehicle was pretty minor. I might be able to make it look better. But like that's like best case scenario for I'm really bad at driving. I'm gonna hurt something. But
Mhm.
like there's the other case. Like I'm bad at driving. I just ran over a family of 4. Right?
Right.
And you don't want that. So my initial thought for all this was like, you just got to get good at being bad at things. I'm bad at lots of things. You should see me talk to women, but I'm really good at being bad at that. Right? Like, and once you're good at being bad at something, you stop caring about it. And then all of a sudden you're like,
let's explore that. What do you mean good at being bad?
yeah.
Like-
So
like see, this show is the perfect example. Like, you can't just do things because you're amazing at them. That doesn't teach you anything. You also can't get better at anything unless you try. That doesn't mean after years and years of practice, you're not going to get good. It also means you probably won't. The worst phrase I had growing up was perfect practice makes perfect, which is what my middle school band teacher had up on the board my entire middle school career, and it still eats me inside because perfect practice makes perfect is the most annoying shit I've ever heard in my life. Because
Perfect.
you're not going to be perfect at practicing if you're practicing to be good. I hate
Perfect
it.
practice.
This
makes
makes
perfect.
perfect. The idea is that if you're practicing perfectly, you'll get better at something, but that's not true.
Yeah, but here's the problem: is you don't want to get better at everything, right? You really don't. Like you do. Sure, there are certain things you want to get good at, but the key is, and my humble opinion here is, just get good at being bad. Right? Because here's the thing. So Dave, let's say you perfect practiced at your instrument and you got good at your instrument and you didn't get perfect because that's impossible, but you got good at your instrument. You'd have more confidence with your instrument. You'd have more confidence playing that instrument that your band teacher so badly wanted you to practice perfectly.
Yeah,
right?
so that he told me I couldn't come to the Christmas band concert. It was great.
Yeah, well, that's because you didn't practice perfectly enough.
Wait. Is he under the Mountain Dew blanket?
But let's say you did. You practiced, you practiced, and you got all this confidence about it. It's the same thing with doing things bad. If you practice doing things poorly, if you accept the fact that you are going to just suck at things, then when you go into that thing and you suck at it with confidence. And you know what happens when you suck at something with confidence? You do it anyway.
You're taking it from a self-esteem and a mental boost perspective, where it's you don't actually have to get better at the thing. You just have to be okay and accept that you're bad at the thing, and therefore you won't care. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. And don't get me wrong. Like this is for most things in life, but not everything in life. Like you can't walk into once again driving, or as my earlier example, skydiving. Or I don't know if you have a duel with someone, if that's even still legal these days. Like you can't go into that knowing you're going to suck and have confidence because you're going to die or kill someone. But outside of those things, like anything else, you just walk into it and then you have this confidence about yourself, about how bad you are, and then you don't care if you look foolish.
But what about if it's something? What about if it's a task that like really takes success to complete? Like, let's just say I'm terrible with vehicles. Like I don't know shit about my car, right? Like I can't do maintenance on my car. But like if I need my muffler changed, I need to either know how to do that or I need to pass that on to somebody. I can't go into that just saying, "Hey, I suck at changing mufflers. It's cool." Like that's something that actually needs to be achieved. So what do you do in that situation?
Well, let me ask you this question to start with. How often does someone need to change their muffler?
I have no idea.
Have you changed your muffler
That
recently?
is on a car, right? A muffler is a part of a car, isn't it?
Yes, it's not something that people change, though. At least not very often.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't the person to make this metaphor, but I think my point stands that
if you were to
some things like, okay, let's say you need throat surgery. Let's just say we're at Buffalo Wild Wings and Jonny needs emergency throat surgery. I'm a very confident fellow. And I'll be like, you know what? I might not be able to pull this off, but I don't care. Like Jonny needs me to efficiently perform this emergency throat surgery at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I do not need you to be the one to do that.
I'm your only option.
Well, it's good knowing you.
See, the consequences of you doing it poorly, though, in this scenario are even worse than the muffler. I don't want this done. Listen, there's sometimes it's okay to just, accept defeat. You've lost emergency throat surgery at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I'm looking down at Jonny as he's got honey barbecue sauce just like bubbling out of his throat, out of his mouth, out of his orifice, and I'm like, sorry,
that's
Jonny.
The problem. Why am I eating
just
honey
accepting
barbecue?
Defeat. Huh?
I said that's the problem. Why am I eating honey barbecue?
You're not eating it. You're choking to death. You are drowning in it.
Because he's eating the worst kind of wings?
Probably.
Yeah,
not the worst, but not my favorite, definitely. So, but like, okay, and I think Dave's got a good point here. Is like, okay, you have to know your limits. And you have to know what it's okay to be bad at and survive and what it's okay not to be bad at. And there's certain things you're like, I just suck at this. And maybe you shouldn't be doing it. So not that long ago, I had to go through and get CPR certified for work. I can now do CPR, right? I mean, I'm certified to do CPR. Would I be the one you want doing it? That's debatable. but I'm certified. You, my friend, are not certified to be doing throat surgery, right? Like there are certain things that require certification, require licensing to do. Once again, let's go back to driving. Driving requires a license.
There's a reason I don't drive.
Oh, hold on. Put a little tick mark next to Dave's disability on this one. but there's a difference between like, here's something I'm bad at, and I'm going to go into confidently. And in my mind, I keep thinking about like back to my younger days of trying to meet women and dating and all that stuff. But you're jumping to the I'm going to accidentally kill someone thing.
Yeah.
And those are the ones you just don't do. Like, I'm sorry you're bad at them. Stay away.
The other life lesson I've learned in this scenario is if you're too good at things, they just give you more work to do. And
this is true.
There's a benefit to being bad at stuff, which is they won't give you more shit to do. And like that's you got to lean into that a little bit.
Yeah, okay, but hold on a second.
That is very true.
Hold on a second. But so I spent years in the Navy on a submarine, and as one of the competent people in my group, and knowing who the other competent people were in my group, I hated those people who were either incompetent or like faked incompetence and knew I would have to call on someone else when it came down to it. So no, don't do that. Don't follow Dave's advice there.
No, listen,
Don't be that person.
No, I need to be that person. I need to be more of that person. I need to be less good at stuff. That would be beneficial to my well-being.
I mean, to Dave's point, if I, by some grace of God, effectively pull off that throat surgery, I'm going to have a line of people out the door just wanting more throat surgeries. He's not wrong.
Every time they eat honey barbecue wings, you're just going to have to set up base camp at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, all of a sudden there's a triage over by the salad bar, and I'm an on-call doctor. Well, that's our 15 minutes to encapsulate the problem. Whether or not we solve this, we'll find out in just a minute. But Dave gets 3 minutes for a weekly plug. Dave, what do you want to plug here?
I taste snacks on the internet. I don't know why. People just kind of said, man, that video of you trying a Big Mac once was really funny. You should make more of those. And then I did, and then nobody watched it. So it's the Snack Network. You can watch our TikToks and our YouTube videos where me and my friends taste snacks that nobody wants, like Hawaiian Punch C4, which is actually really, really, really good. It tastes exactly like your childhood and your youth. So if you want to have a raging energy drink addiction,
like my childhood.
Yes, because my childhood was C4.
It was Hawaiian Punch.
I actually had a quarter stick of dynamite one time. Does it taste like that?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just
okay.
It does do dynamite related things to your stomach and your intestines.
Wow, that was a hell of a sentence.
That was... You rocked through that. Like, you realized halfway through that pronunciation that you were wrong. But you were like we talked about, you were like, I don't care if I'm bad at saying this fucking word. I'm going to stroll right through this bitch and come out the other side of this sentence a rock star.
Dynamite related things to your stomach and your intestines. It's okay to be awful, like me.
Now it's time for our conclusion, where the three of us come up with our final thesis around this problem. I don't even know if we touched the problem, but I'm going to repeat it. How do I get okay with being bad at stuff? And I think I'm going to try to sum this up. I'm going to take the verbal diarrhea of the last 20 minutes and see if I can summarize this. And you guys let me know if I'm on point or if I'm totally wrong on this. I think we came to the conclusion that you need to know your limits. There are some things that it's okay to be bad at, and you just have to lean into it, like Jonny says. If you come to terms with the fact that you don't know how to do everything, then you don't need to worry about it so much. However, there are some things that you absolutely need to pass the buck on, because you should not be performing throat surgery at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah? Did we help this person?
Just don't try hard. That's the lesson.
No. It's not don't try hard, Dave. It's try hard to get good at being bad so that you have confidence in how bad you are until you have to do a thing that could kill someone, in which case
I think I made it a lot simpler. I think it's much easier just to not try.
But you know what I think we absolutely did not touch on? We completely stayed away from the concept of you actually can get better at things in life. I think we universally just kind of like set that aside. There are some things you're naturally good at, and then you can be good at being bad at things. But Dave was very adamant that you cannot improve your life as you go on, right?
Perfect practice will never make perfect.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for watching and listening to this episode of None of Us Are Qualified. Join us next week when we discuss what to do when you fall in love with your favorite Twitch streamer. That sounds disgusting. Have a great week, and remember, none of us are qualified.